Have you ever done something the same way for decades, only to find out much later in life it was quietly harming your health? No one ever sat us down and gently explained the right way to care for our most delicate parts after 60. We were told to stay clean, stay quiet, and not ask too many questions. But here's the truth. Many of us are carrying hidden habits from our youth that are quietly causing discomfort, infections, irritation, and even embarrassment as we age. This video is not here to shame you. It's here to gently walk you through 7 feminine hygiene habits that older women are finally rethinking, and what doctors now say we must do differently to feel clean, confident, and protected in our later years. If you've ever felt unsure about what's normal down there or felt too embarrassed to ask, this video is for you. You are not alone, and it's never too late to learn something new about your own body. So if any of this sounds familiar, tap that like button to support honest conversations about senior women's health. And subscribe for more comforting, no-nonsense guidance every single week. Let's begin with this. If your underwear always feels damp, it's not just age. For years, many senior women have quietly accepted that a bit of moisture or discomfort down there is simply a normal part of getting older. But what if I told you that persistent dampness in your underwear, even just a slight sticky or clammy feeling, could be a sign that your hygiene routine isn't working the way it should? According to gynecologists and urogynecologists, one of the most overlooked signs of improper wiping is residual moisture that creates a perfect environment for bacteria, yeast, and irritation. The problem often starts with using rough, dry toilet paper or wiping too quickly without fully cleaning the skin folds and creases that become more delicate with age. Add to that the fact that our skin becomes thinner and more sensitive after menopause, especially around the vulva, and that little bit of leftover moisture can lead to chafing, redness, odor, and even repeated yeast infections. A common scenario is this. A woman wipes the way she always has, maybe with a quick swipe of tissue, unaware that arthritis or limited mobility might be causing her to miss certain areas. Over time, this leads to constant mild dampness, discomfort during walks, and even embarrassment when changing underwear midday. And yet no one ever told her that wiping front to back isn't the only thing that matters. It's also how thoroughly and gently she's doing it. Doctors now recommend a soft, fragrance-free wipe or warm water cleanse followed by patting fully dry. And just as important, they emphasize wearing breathable cotton underwear, not synthetics, to let the skin stay dry and clean. Many older women have found that switching to a bidet or using unscented moist wipes after each bathroom visit completely changed their comfort level and reduced infections. So if your underwear constantly feels just a bit too warm or wet, even after a shower, don't ignore it. Your body is gently asking for a small change in how you care for it. And that change could mean everything. That change could mean everything, especially for preventing hidden infections, skin irritation, and persistent odor. Many women don't realize how trapped moisture becomes a breeding ground for bacteria and yeast. Even slight dampness creates warmth and friction, which leads to discomfort that worsens throughout the day. If left unchecked, this can cause embarrassing leaks, itching, or even rashes that seem to appear out of nowhere. By simply switching to cotton underwear, patting dry gently, and avoiding synthetic fabrics that trap heat, you create a breathable, healing environment. It's not just about hygiene, it's about dignity. Comfort starts with awareness, and a few small choices each morning can prevent years of discomfort and finally bring peace back to your body. Here's the second one. Recurring UTIs might have nothing to do with your kidneys. Let me ask you something personal. How many times have you been treated for a urinary tract infection in the past few years? Once? Twice? More than 4 times in a single year? You're not alone. Millions of senior women deal with painful, recurring UTIs that seem to come out of nowhere. But here's what most people don't realize. The culprit is often not your kidneys or even your bladder. It's your bathroom routine. Doctors now say that one of the top reasons older women get chronic UTIs is because of how they wipe. Wiping back to front, even gently, can drag tiny traces of bacteria from the rectal area right into the delicate urethral opening. And because women over 60 have thinner skin, a shorter urethra, and less natural estrogen protecting the vaginal tissues, it doesn't take much for bacteria like E. coli to sneak in and wreak havoc. What's worse is how often we blame ourselves, thinking something is wrong with our immune system or our age. But in many cases, no one ever taught us the correct hygiene methods, especially when bodies start to change after menopause. Doctors now recommend always wiping front to back using soft, unscented wipes or a peri bottle with warm water. They also caution against using harsh soaps or antibacterial products that can destroy the good bacteria needed to protect the urinary tract. Some women even benefit from lightly rinsing with water and gently patting dry after every bathroom visit, especially during flare-ups. And here's something else. If you're dealing with frequent urgency, burning, or discomfort after urinating, it's not just annoying. It's your body waving a red flag that something small but fixable isn't right. Once older women make this simple shift in their hygiene habits, many report that their UTIs stop coming back entirely. So if you're sick of cranberry pills and doctor visits, maybe it's time to take a closer look at your bathroom habits. A small change today could save you months of pain tomorrow. And yet, so many women go through this cycle silently. We buy cranberry supplements, switch our underwear, even stop drinking water out of fear of triggering another infection. But if we never change how we wipe, we're just repeating the same mistake. I remember one woman saying she thought her bladder was failing when it was just a hygiene habit no one had ever corrected. UTIs are more than just annoying. They can lead to kidney damage, antibiotic resistance, and constant fear. That's why fixing the way you wipe is one of the most powerful changes you can make in your 60s, 70s, or even 80s. It's not too late. Your body will thank you. Next, we need to talk about this. Are you wiping too hard without knowing it? This one is going to feel a little uncomfortable, but it needs to be said because too many women over 60 are quietly suffering in silence. If you've ever seen blood on the toilet paper or felt soreness or stinging after wiping, it's not just your age acting up. Doctors now warn that many senior women are unknowingly causing trauma to their own bodies, simply from wiping too hard or too often. It sounds innocent, but think about this. Most of us were never taught how gently we should treat our most sensitive areas. And if you're like many women who grew up using rough toilet paper, scrubbing until it feels clean, or even folding wet paper towels just to feel fresh, you could be irritating the delicate skin around the anus and vulva without realizing it. This repeated friction can lead to microtears, inflammation, and eventually hemorrhoids, those painful, swollen veins around the rectum that can bleed or sting when you sit. Doctors say this kind of wiping trauma is actual sin, one of the top causes of rectal bleeding in older women, not just constipation. And here's something else many don't realize. Thin postmenopausal skin is especially prone to cracking and irritation. That means even just a few wipes with dry, abrasive tissue can be enough to trigger bleeding or long-term soreness. The good news? You don't have to live with this. Experts now suggest switching to a patting method instead of rubbing. Use soft, damp cloths or fragrance-free wipes. Or even better, install a bidet attachment that allows you to rinse clean with water and then gently blot dry with a soft towel. Not only does this reduce friction, but it also supports healing if the skin is already irritated. And remember, Feeling clean isn't about scrubbing raw. It's about respecting your skin. So if you've ever thought, why am I always sore down there? It could be time to change how you wipe, not just what you eat or drink. Your comfort depends on it, and so does your dignity. Too many older women silently endure the sting, the bleeding, and the awkward shifting in their seats, thinking it's just part of aging. But when you treat your body like something disposable, it begins to protest. That raw, scraped feeling after wiping too hard is not just discomfort, it's trauma. And with thinner skin after menopause, healing takes longer. One gentle change, like switching to warm water rinsing or patting dry with a soft cloth, can make an enormous difference. It's not just about stopping the bleeding. It's about giving your most intimate areas the same tenderness and care you'd give a child. That's what your body has earned and deserves. Now let's be honest. Do you still notice a smell even after you shower? This one can feel a little embarrassing to talk about, but it's something almost every woman over 60 has wondered at some point. You take a nice warm shower. You scrub, you rinse, you dry off. You put on clean underwear and fresh clothes, but then, a few hours later, there's a faint smell you just can't ignore. It's not strong, but it's there. A musty, slightly sour odor that clings, even when you've done everything right. If you've noticed this, I want you to hear me clearly. It doesn't mean you're dirty. It doesn't mean you're not washing properly. But it might mean that something is going wrong between your wiping routine and the kind of hygiene products you're using. Doctors now believe that many older women experience lingering odor not because of age, but because of bacteria that stay behind when we wipe the wrong way. You could be wiping back to front without even thinking, dragging microscopic traces of fecal matter across the vaginal area. That creates a warm, moist environment that bacteria love. And even if you shower every day, if your wiping habits keep reintroducing that bacteria, the smell is going to come back, again and again. Making things worse? A lot of women turn to scented sprays or soapy washes that promise to make you smell fresh, but they actually strip your skin of its natural balance. That makes the odor worse, not better. It's a vicious cycle. We wipe too hard or the wrong way, we get a smell, we try to fix it with perfume or soap, and that just throws everything further off. So what's the solution? It's surprisingly simple. Gentle front-to-back wiping, always. Fragrance-free wipes or soft cloth with warm water, never dry, scratchy paper, and no more scented sprays. If you're showering regularly but still catching a whiff you don't like, this one tiny habit shift could change everything. I used to think it was just something I had to live with after menopause. But once I adjusted how I wiped, not just how I washed, the odor went away in just a few days. So if you've been wondering why the smell won't leave, don't blame your body. Just listen to it. It might be asking for a kinder approach doesn't mean you're weak. It means you've finally started listening to your body instead of ignoring it. So many women push through the discomfort, masking the odor with sprays, powders, or harsh soaps that only make things worse. But your body isn't trying to embarrass you. That lingering scent is its quiet plea for gentler care, for wiping that respects the balance of your skin and the microbiome that keeps you healthy. When you switch to unscented wipes or warm water and truly dry the area after each visit, everything changes. You feel cleaner, fresher, and more at peace in your own skin. It's not about masking anything. It's about healing everything. Here's a subtle one. That damp, sticky feeling in your underwear, by midday, you might not even think of it as a problem at first. It starts with a little discomfort. Not wet enough to call it leaking, but not dry either. Maybe your underwear feels slightly moist. Maybe you notice a bit of chafing, or maybe it just feels like you need to change clothes by the afternoon. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. And most importantly, you're not doing anything wrong, but your wiping routine might need a little love. Doctors now believe that this lingering moisture in older women is one of the most overlooked signs that something isn't quite right down there. So why does it happen? Well, as we age, our pelvic muscles, the ones that help control both urine and bowel movements, naturally weaken. That means tiny droplets of moisture can sneak out during the day, even without us noticing. A slight release when you cough, laugh, stand up quickly, it happens. And if you're wiping quickly or using dry, thin toilet paper, there's a good chance some of that moisture is getting left behind. Add in tight clothing, synthetic underwear, and less airflow in that area, and suddenly your body is sitting in a warm, damp environment all day long. And we all know what that can lead to: chafing, irritation, odor, even infections like yeast or bacterial vaginosis. Here's what I realized. I was rushing through wiping because my back hurt, my hands ached. And frankly, I was tired, but that rush was leaving me with discomfort for the rest of the day. Once I slowed down and started using a gentle, damp cloth, something soft that could truly clean, and then patting dry with a separate cloth, I noticed a change immediately. I also switched to breathable cotton underwear and only wear synthetics for short outings or special occasions. No more dampness, no more weird smells, no more changing underwear halfway through the day because I just didn't feel clean. If this sounds like something you've silently dealt with, that quiet discomfort no one ever talks about, please know it's not just aging. It's your body giving you a signal that you deserve better care after every bathroom trip. A kinder wipe, a proper dry and breathable fabric. These small steps can completely transform how you feel throughout the day. Might sound like a small detail, but in truth, it affects your entire sense of comfort and confidence. When moisture builds up throughout the day, whether from incomplete wiping, unnoticed leaks, or just poor airflow, it creates the perfect storm for irritation, odor, and even infection. That's why so many senior women are now rethinking their wiping habits as part of daily self-care. Choosing breathable fabrics, changing undergarments when needed, and adding a quick midday rinse can make a surprising difference. It's not about being obsessive. It's about being in tune with what your body needs now. A few small changes in your routine can turn embarrassment into empowerment and discomfort into dignity, right where it matters most. Aging doesn't mean settling for discomfort. It doesn't mean accepting itching, burning, odor, or dampness as your new normal. For so many of us, no one ever taught us how to care for ourselves in the ways that really matter, especially when it comes to wiping. But now you know. Titi. These 5 signs aren't just warnings. They're invitations to give your body the gentle, informed care it's been quietly asking for. And here's the beautiful part. It's never too late to start.